All right, good morning, guys. As you see, I got my readers on because I'm going to have to be over here. I'm hoping everybody can see this. Um, Trying to get situated here. Might be able to move some stuff around. This is the first tub of meat that we're going to look at. You guys see that right there? 6 gallons of wine. Trying to think what kind of wine it is. Morning, Deeds Beyond Blessed. Mike Turner. Morning to you all. Night to me. Headed to bed, leaving the running. Yeah, I'd appreciate that, Mike. That'd be great. I got 4 people in here. As you guys see, we're going to process this deer that my son had shot, and kind of show you guys what we're going to do. He wants to have some hot sticks made. Morning, Dees. Can you see me? I can see you guys with my readers on. Christopher Hanna. Morning. What's up? I got the coffee going, and I was trying to get this set up. I was hoping I'd have everything where you can see. This is just an empty one. This is where I'll start putting the meat that I'm cutting from this one here. Things I still have to get, but I'll wait till a few people get in here and start working on this. I see a picture that I had for this live was my son with his deer, but looks like it just captured him. So I'm going to put this. I'm going to put my cell phone in front of me so I can kind of see that, and maybe I can talk to the chat from there. And I won't need these. See you guys. Amanda Thompson in the house. Good morning. Yeah, Tubby guy. This is where you'll see some tenderloins. You'll see. My son ended up hitting it a little bit high, and he wrecked the one tenderloin. He just cut it in half. So I just cut on either side of that, split it up. But John, they're outdoors. Are you in the woods? Got me on mute. Yeah, so I got 9 people in here, and so there's a few things I still got to get out that I haven't got out yet, and I can find what I need. But one is my scale that I use. There's some things that I have. This is the knife that I talk about all the time, guys. I don't know if it'll show it or not. It's an American Angler. It's a 6-inch fillet knife. I've had this thing for years, and I have this here. It came with a Berkeley one that I can use to actually sharpen it, and then of course I have this one here that I bought. I cut everything up with this. I cut my fish up with this. I cut my deer up with this. If the raccoon that my son and I tried, I used this. But I do use different knives for the skinning part and stuff like that. So this is usually just cutting the meat off of the carcass and cutting the meat up. Yeah, smash that thumbs up. Thanks, Steve. Really appreciate that. Yeah, John, like I said, it was my pleasure. I had a really good time, and learn a few things about ginseng off you last night. So that's always exciting. Um, yeah, Tubby guy. You'll see. I'm gonna cut some stuff. I don't know what I'm doing with the tenderloins yet. A lot of times I'll leave those whole and freeze them that way, and then I'll decide what I want to do with those. Sometimes I'll pull them out, thaw them out, and we'll just either smoke them or I'll marinate them 24 hours and then throw them on the grill and just cook them that way. Um, or I'll then get them out, thaw them out, slice them up, and make like butterfly chops with them. You do really anything else you want with those loins. If you leave them whole, they freeze a lot better too. Um, but if you cut them up into little chop steaks or you butterfly them, you're kind of stuck with that, going forward. And Washington County News Station, Utah. How you doing? Yeah, the deer hunt already happened. My son ended up getting a deer, and we actually have some meat here. So, thought I'd go live and you guys what we're gonna do. So, there is two things that my son wanted to have some hot sticks made. So we're gonna get that. Not a clue fishing. How you doing this morning? We're gonna be cutting up some deer, and I just heard my wash machine just shut off. I'm washing my work clothes for the week. Probably guy outdoors in the house. Um, yeah. So somewhat. What do you mean somewhat? Our deer hunt starts. Oh, yours starts in 2 weeks, so you're getting ready for that. I got you. Yeah. So you guys see, I got my pantry door open here. Couple things I got to get out of here. This here is just my kitchen scale that I use. Got some freezer paper. We got some Scotch freezer tape. Now you guys can use regular Scotch tape or yes, tape that you want, masking tape. However, this stuff here it holds at negative 40 degrees. So get that there, and then I usually put any meats that I'm going to freeze. I actually use a freezer bag. I put it in there. I use the sliders just because they're a lot easier to get in and to seal up. But I put them in this, and then I wrap them in the freezer paper. You call me Bixie there, Daddy Duck? No, I see you said Boxy. How you doing this morning? Probably that auto correct, eh? Okay, so what my son wanted to make was what's called hot stick, or you call them snack sticks. If you know, like, I guess they're almost like a Slim Jim, if you think of it that way. They're just a little bit bigger around, though. Give me a second. I'll see. I think I have the spices in here. All right, guys. So This is actually what I got now. You can see this here says jerky. They make one that is for deer bologna, and then they have one that's for hot stick. But you kind of get a few things in here. This is actually the jerky curing salt. Um, this is the jerky seasoning, and then this is the curing salt that's got to go in there. But I also have this spice right here. Sorry, my nose has been running and itchy. But you can see in here the hot stick tubes. Of course, they're in plastic. That's the casings for it. So they're about that big around. I don't know if you can see that. Probably just barely get my pointer finger inside that tube. But I got a stuffer. You put the seasoned meat in there, and it stuffs it right through this. And the seasoning for that. And I believe I need 13 pounds of meat. These is getting her kids started on their schoolwork. Does the homeschooling. Yeah, John, you're lagging. So Amanda, yeah, you can make sausage with this. I made a breakfast sausage one year. I just found a recipe on the on a hunting actually site for recipes and stuff, and it's pretty good. Yeah. So of course, if I would get 13 pounds of hot stick from a processor, it was going to cost me over $30. I actually can buy this right here for about 10. I think it's like $10 or $12, and I can make twice that. I can make twice the amount of sticks for that. So so the thing I want to talk about is the other thing that we're going to do is canned deer meat. You can kind of see around the top there, you got the fat that actually once you cook this in your pressure cooker, of course the meat's already cooked. A lot of people don't realize that, but it's sitting in here and the meat's already cooked. Now, a lot of people take like a beef suet. I believe you could probably use pork as well. You want to take beef fat and you want to put a chunk in there. This here, I actually used the deer of its own. So you'll see like on the deer meat, you got that white stuff right there. That actually, when this cooks down, that'll render down and it makes your sill on the top. Yeah, that stuff is pretty expensive to get made. So Boxy does it himself, and we like it. Now, the bologna, I don't buy my spices for the bologna like that. My wife had got a recipe off of someone she worked with, and it actually was pretty good. So that's how we make it. We use our own recipe for that. So the next thing I got to do is I'm going to have 7 jars of this. So I got to find I'm going to try to find a wide mouth mason jar. I should have one here somewhere. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill each. I'm going to just take and fill it up and dump it in here. So I know I'm going to have enough meat for that as well. And then I want to talk a little bit about the different meats that I use for the actual canning process of where I take the meat from and put in there. Let me try and find that mason jar. Like I said, I was running around trying to get this started here. My biggest problem was being able to get you guys to see this. So thankfully, we have actually a little countertop that goes above this countertop in our kitchen. It's kind of an open floor plan, so I can actually see my dining room here, and then my living room's right behind you guys. Most important thing, guys, is I better clean up before I head to work because if my wife comes home and sees this mess, she'll be she won't be happy. So let me get that jar. Okay, guys, there's the jar, and my coffee's done brewing. So we're gonna pour some coffee. There's coffee. All right, so I like my tea unsweetened, but I got to take a little bit of some French vanilla. Doesn't take much, just a little bit. $6 of wine. Not exact. I can't remember mango. It's something mango. It's a fruit wine that I made. All right. Glasses back on so I can read the chat here. Yep, expensive to make. No homesteading. Yeah, wake up boxing. Here's to you guys to the morning, right? Amanda, I did get a little bit of that out, and my wife drank some of it last night. She said it was pretty good tasting. So that yeah, right there is 6 gallon. You can see pretty how clear that is too. I don't know if you can see from that distance, but you can see my hand through the wine. That's homemade wine. It's as clear as any white wine that you're going to see. Most important thing there is to make sure that you let it sit and make sure that it fines and pulls all that sediment to the bottom. And I got a real nice thick sediment to it, so it is ready to bottle. Good thing about this wine that we make is you can drink it right after. You can drink it while you're bottling, and that's what happens most of the time. So we don't get 2 cases of wine. It produces almost 2 cases of wine, a little over 2 cases. So enough about the wine. Now we got Mo in here, and we're gonna start talking about. We got the line cook in here. We got Amanda Thompson in here. Dunlap 2423, Ramsey Country. Good morning, Vietnam. Love the smell of venison in the morning. Yeah, and some of you guys in here. We got 15 people in here, and I really appreciate it. Got my boxy shirt on here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chunk up the meat. Okay, so to make the hot stick that my son wants, it comes from ground meat. So anything that is not going to be saved for like my back straps, just the pieces that would be cut off of it will go into ground meat. Anything off of the deer that is not a steak or like a roast or something like that, I'm going to cut it up first. Now I'm going to put it in two piles. Okay, so anything that I'm going to grind for my son's hot stick, I don't have to cut it down as small. If you now the stuff that I'm going to cut down, and I don't know if you're in here, Mo, but there's some canned deer meat. You can see the soot. I think they call it soot right there around the top. That kind of seals that. You can use beef soot. I have done that in the past. Usually I use the deer soot, but beef and pork kind of give it a a little bit more of a flavor. This one here, you see, it doesn't have as much, but I might actually open this up and just eat it right out of the can and show you guys. For the canned meat, I'm going to have to chop it up about 1-inch pieces. Okay. Uh-oh, what happened? I missed it, Mo. He stepped up in the back of the truck, and we think he dislocated his knee or hyperextended it. We are headed to the doctor in just a bit. Oh, is that your husband this morning getting ready to go to work? I hope he's going to be okay. Yeah, hopefully it's well, I don't know, hyperextend anything with your knee. It's gonna be a process to get healed up. So the biggest thing, and I mentioned about it last night, and I want to mention it right now, is the meat. The meat on the legs of the deer. For those of you that have butchered deer or seen a skinned deer, the front part of the leg, the forearm part of the leg, I'm going to say, the front legs and even the back legs, they have this, and I'm going to try to find a meat because it has a lot of I don't know if it's not really sinew, but it's got like a cartilage type thing in it. And I know I have some in here. I should have left one whole, but usually when I cut it up, I try to cut it as I go. So right here's a piece of it. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but you can see these white lines and stuff through there. Well, when you put that through a grinder, that's what gets caught in the grinder wheel and stuff, and it's real hard to grind. But what I use this for is this gets cut up into 1-inch pieces. Yeah, the silver. Yeah, you can call it the silver meat. And what I do is I cut it up for my canned deer meat. Okay. The reason why is this will cook down, right? Because you got it in a pressure cooker. It's gonna cook. It's gonna cook down. It gets very hot. That's what renders this soot right up here. What happens is that all cooks out, and now you got just a nice soft piece of meat that's cooked. So all this will actually go into for my canned meat. I will not put this in my grinding meat. It always goes towards canned meat. So that's just something, if somebody's out there, if you're looking for something to do with that forearm meat, the bottom part of the legs, that's what I use it for. I'm going to cut this in 1-inch pieces, and like I said, I got an empty jar. What I'll do is I'll get that. I know I can make 7 jars in my pressure cooker. So not sure if I'm going to get 7, but we'll definitely try to do what we can. Yeah, I guess that's what you would call it, line cook. Not sure about the whole process. I just stick it in the pressure cooker, let it go. I am going to. I probably won't go live, but I might do a video on it. Because the pressure cooker's got to come up to temperature, and as you guys know, it's the one that has the weight that goes on there. So they call it pickling or whatever. But once it gets up there and you let it go, I think it's 90 minutes is how long I got to let that go. And your boss is giving you a dirty look. Yeah, you better get back to work. I'd be one of those bosses probably giving you a dirty look, but not if you're watching Boxy Outdoors. So let's get started here, guys, and we'll kind of keep chatting. I got the chat going over here too, so no matter where I'm at, I can actually see. I can already tell that this is lagging behind because I'm talking to you guys about this piece of meat. So we're going to cut these. What's nice is this is already about 1 inch, so I'm just cutting it about 1 inch. Okay. So there you go, guys. I just cut that. I'm going to just stick it in this jar. Now, when I get to some of these other meats, you know, like something like this, I'm going to cut that up and I'm going to throw it right in this this bucket right here. And this is what's going to go towards Jake's hot stick. And then what I'll do is, I know I have to have about 13 pounds. So I'll weigh that. And I know I have 13 pounds of meat in here. So I'm actually going to be cutting up some of the hind quarter meat, which I'll show you guys once we get to that. So let's cut up a little bit of this, and then I'll get some of that meat there. Now the grinder meat, I chunked them up a little bit bigger, just because I'm going to be grinding down. So what do I like to use for my hot stick and my summer sausage and stuff like that? Now this is part of the front shoulder. You can make a roast out of this. You can make a flank steak out of this, and then I forget what kind of steak it is, but it's a real thin steak that you can get out of the front shoulder. And I watched a video on it, and it looks pretty tedious. And for what I do, I don't need to take the time on there. But so this particular deer, instead of making a roast or a flat steak, I think they call it a flank steak, but this one's going to go to my son's jerky, or his hot stick. So pretty easy. Like I said, bigger chunks. This particular part that I'm on right now, guys, is that front shoulder, and it comes right down into there. So it has a little bit of that silver meat that Ramsey was talking about. So I'm actually going to cut and put that in here. All right. The rest of this, I'm going to just chunk up. I'm going to do a little bit of this, guys, just kind of show you how I go about doing this. You can pretty much tell, too, when you get into that meat that has that silver meat in, it doesn't cut as nice. It takes a little bit more pressure to cut it. So when you get into that, you can see, this is a good thing to show you guys. See that silver right there, that little piece coming through there? That's going to get caught up in my grinder. So I'm going to cut this in half, and it's going to go in the right in there, right? going in there. There's a pretty good piece here. Looks like it's going for the grinder. Another thing too, guys, like there's something there. I don't know what exactly what it is. You can see there's that little black speck there. If I see that, I cut that out, and it will go in a waste container, which is going to be right there. Okay. Do a few more of these, and then go get the other. I'll swap this container out with the other container that has my finer meats in it, and I'll kind of go over that and show you guys that. There's that forearm meat. So that's all. Look, that piece there. I'm throwing it in there. I got some pieces that are already out there. I just got to cut it right in half like that. So here's some more of that forearm meat. All it is, guys, just you do your when you're actually taking the meat off the carcass. Yeah, these you can run links. I don't have a problem with that. Big Joe Outdoors jumped in to say hello. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate everybody running my links. Right there's some more of that forearm meat. But so when I'm cutting it off the actual carcass, guys, something I do is I try and get the small pieces that this is just something that was left on the car. I try and clean up everything. And what's nice is when you do that, you get small meat pieces of meat, you can just throw it right in there. The other thing I like to do is I like to take all the fat and stuff that you're not going to want to eat. I take that off as I take the meat off the deer. And so like a lot of this stuff here, just a matter of cutting it up just so it goes into the grinder. Now there's some of that forearm meat. You can see all the silver stuff in it. See those silver lines right through the meat. It's amazing. First time I did this, I actually cut it up and I used it for that. Here's some more forearm. I'm just hoping it shows up, guys. See all those white lines through the meat? Right there by my finger right there. That there is hard on a grinder. But in your cans, cooks up so nice, so tender. One-inch pieces. Most of my jars get filled with that to begin with, so I always know I'm going to at least get a couple jars just with the forearm meat. Okay, so you see there, I got my meat. It's right about to the neck. So we're going to just leave that right like that. So I know I got one jar. I need 6 more. So we get another container. And we'll put that right behind, right underneath you guys. So I know I'm not. We're already watching the chat. How long does it take you to process a deer? Um, Today, it might take the 3 hours that I'm planning on being live because I've already been going a half hour and I haven't really gotten very far. But as far as so it's kind of a process there, Amanda. Which is like, how long does it take to process? So skinning down a deer doesn't take long, especially if you do it right off the get go like I did. Um, Skinning, it takes maybe I don't know. Once I get it hung up, stuff takes about maybe 15 minutes or so to get it skinned down. I cut the front shoulders so I can open that up, try to cool it down as fast as I possibly can, and then I let it hang if it's cool enough. I let it hang for 1 to 2 days. Um, as you see, this meat that I'm showing you guys, it's not real bloody. It's not watery. It's nothing. Try and hold this up. You can even see there's very little blood. And the reason for that is I hung it overnight. It was cold. And then when I took the meat off that carcass, and it takes about an hour to do that, Amanda. So skinning it down and taking the meat off the bones and getting it into a refrigerator takes me about an hour and 15 minutes, something like that. Depends on how fast I'm going, whether I have help or not, which I usually do not. Duck Master Outdoors in the house. We're cutting up some deer. Um, so now, as far as this part of it, usually I'm kind of doing it backwards here. But I'm gonna go get some of the other stuff. So I usually cut my steaks. I'll cut my steaks and I'll cut my roasts and stuff like that first. And it won't take much time at all doing that. However, knowing that my son wants the hot sticks, I got to make sure I have enough meat to do that. So believe it or not, I might be forfeiting some steaks or some roasts to get enough meat for him, if that makes any sense. So it's going to take me a little bit longer, but I think I can probably cut up and process a deer another hour. So if you want to look at a total thing, I'm going to say it takes me from hanging the deer and getting it skinned down, deboned, and processed. I'm going to say about two hours, 2.5 hours, but it's split up over, like I said, a couple of days. Big Joe, I've never made bone broth. And if I keep talking and not cutting, it's going to take me about 5 hours there, Amanda. So yeah, so get this. I'm gonna this stuff here. It's got some of that meat in there. I don't know if you guys. You can feel it in your knife, guys. I don't know how else to explain it. I can tell when I'm going to put that meat in for the yeah, like this here. This one here should show up. See all that white stuff in there? I already know looking at it, and I can feel it when I cut it. I already know that's going in the jar. It's going to go down. It's going to be pretty good stuff. Anybody that butchers, I'm probably not telling you guys anything that you don't know, but there are a few people here that eventually someday will want to butcher their own. So, all right, guys, I'm going to let me cut this one up. This is another. All right, somebody in the chat, where am I going to put this meat? Got it. Where's that meat going? Who's got it? Is it going to get? Is it going in the can, or is it going in the? You guys probably see how hard this is. You probably already know it's gonna go. That's that. So that's that silver meat. Yep. That's it, Ramsey. It's got that popping feel to it. You just and I just know just because where the cut comes from, I know that that's part of the front leg. So I already know anything that I cut that has that feel to it. You know what I mean? You can see all the white lines in there. I know I keep showing you guys, but I just want you guys to that have never done it to understand kind of meat that you use. And what I want to show you guys is um, when I open this jar up. So I can understand because when I first did this, you're thinking, man, you're putting, for canned meat, you're using kind of the lesser meat. I'm using meat that you can't get anything else out of. And my first thought was, man, I want my canned meat to be nice and tender. And I can't believe that you would use those kind of meats for it. But I'm telling you, when I'm going to open this jar up and I'll show you guys how tender it is, how it's broken down, and there's none of that in there. All right, so 2 jars down, 5 to go for that. The other thing I will do is about to get this out because we'll have to weigh the meat here because, like I said, I got to have about 13 pounds. Now, something that you can do, and I do it on my bologna, is so I'm in the corner here because, as you hear, I got my sinks right here beside me. So you'll put a little bit of pork in it. Usually, what I'll do is I'll wait and see. Happiness, how you doing? What am I making? I'm actually processing some venison from a deer that my son took the first day of archery. Rusty lungs reminds me of watching my granddad clean out rabbits when I was a toddler. Yeah. So I do put. I'll actually wait to find some maybe a pork loin or something when a store has running a special or something, so I can get some pork loin. And all I do is I come home and I cut it up and I grind it down. And I know my bologna when I make that my venison trail bologna, it gets a half a pound of pork that goes with it. So what the pork does is gives you a little bit of that fat and stuff to help hold things together, and so that way it's not all dry. Of course, when you bite into like a piece of bologna or like if you think of like a Slim Jim or something like that, if you don't have that fatty stuff in there, you'd bite into it and it'd just be a dry piece of meat, So Justin Miller's in the house. So guys, let me get out the other container. I'll put this in the put this one in the refrigerator. I'll get that out so that way some of you guys that are in here that might not be able to stay in the whole time while I'm cutting this deer up, I want to show you some of the other meats that I cut up, and I'll talk a little bit about some of the ones that I cut that I probably will have to use some of that the grinder, just just because that's what son wants, right? It was his deer. I'm gonna forfeit some steaks to get him some hot stick. Um, like I said, the way I've always felt is if the deer is going to get eaten, I really don't care what it gets made into. And the hot stick, the jerky, and the trail bologna, I can't make it fast enough. The jerky, I'll make. Yeah, I can definitely do that. I see the field guide's in here as well. Is John in here? Um, when I make jerky, I'll make it on a Friday, Saturday, and by Monday it's pretty much all gone. Matter of fact, I used to keep it. I used to keep it in the. I used to keep it in the refrigerator, and the refrigerator door. Yeah, thanks, field guide. I'll let them know. Um, yeah, Big Joe. Have a good day. Yeah, you're leaving in a minute. No, I understand. I'll uh, I'll have to look and see if I can find him here. Um, JV Outdoors is in here. He likes butterfly his chops. There he is. I did miss him. I think everybody who eats meat should clean and prepare an animal at least once in their lives. Too many people think meat grows in the plastic packs. Yeah, isn't that the truth? Um, and the best thing about this, guys, is even taking it to a processor. You know what I mean? Um, when they get so many deer in there, I'm not saying that they mix deer up and stuff like that, but I have heard, now I don't know this for a fact, but I have heard that some places will actually take, they cut your deer up and they'll take it so they cut my deer up, right, for my burger. They cut my deer up. So they take this, they would weigh it. Okay. So let's say I had 20 pounds of cut up meat that's going to go into burger, right? So on my thing, 20 pounds burger, right? Well, I got 20 pounds. Well, they're not gonna grind 20 pounds of burger and then turn around and clean that out and then do the gentleman down the street's 20 pounds of burger. Nope. What they do is they take all that burger, they grind it, and then they package it up in 1 to 2 pound packages. Now, guess what? I don't know if I got the burger from my deer. So that's a thought that was put into my head, and I did not like that. Not saying it happens, but if you think about it, for them to make money, for them to be able to do the processing quickly, that's probably happening. Now, some say, why does that matter? It's burger, burger's burger. I'm going to tell you what matters is it's all in how you take care of your deer once you've harvested that deer. Once you get that deer on the ground, it's very important to get that cooled down as quickly as possible. Like I said, I like to get my deer home. We pictures. My deer does not stay for the next day. And you watch all these big hunting shows that kill deer at night. The next morning, you see them; they got it all propped up, all nice, and they're sitting behind it. Well, yeah, they're going to do that because I'm not saying that the meat's bad at that time. What I'm just saying is you get a fresher meat, if you get it cooled down and properly taken care of, and you will not have that gamier taste. So a lot of their meats do get given to the needy and stuff like that. And kudos to them. I appreciate them helping. The people that are hungry and stuff like that, or the need to help. But I also know that if it's my meat, I'm going to want it to. I want to make sure that it's taken care of the proper way, and that I sacrifice some maybe not so great pictures because it's taken at night and stuff like that. But I do feel that the deer that I have shot at night and that I've had to leave it lay overnight, and as soon as I find it, I get it cleaned out stuff. But it's already cooled off. It's already had that stuff inside of it for a night or whatever, and you definitely can tell the difference in the meat. So not saying that it's bad or good, and not everybody wants to process their own deer and stuff like that, but it's something that it's part of me providing my family, and so I like it. And a lot of times, what you can do is put these in the. I can put this in the freezer, and then we can decide. Okay, we're going to have venison tonight. So what do we want? Do we want a roast? So I can get a roast out, or I'll show you the one roast that I have. I can actually take it out and use it as a roast, or let's say we decide we want some round steaks. I can cut them right into round steaks. I'll thaw it out, cut it into round steaks, and we can have steaks that night instead of that roast. There's a lot of things you can do if you prepare it yourself. Kind of neat. So try to get this one here done. That'll be 3. That'll be 3 containers of that. All right, there's the 3rd container. I'm gonna take this meat. I'm gonna put it right over into here. Hey guys, so here's all my fine meats. This is where you got several parts of the hind quarter. Most people, there's 3 sections. I actually make it into 4 sections, but this is on either side. So there's a section there that could be a nice. You can make a roast out of that. You can make long, thin, like strip steaks with this. I've used it for jerky, anything like that. Then, so this would go like this. Okay, guys. That's the loin. I know you guys can't see that. It actually goes this way. But this would be the loin of the deer. It probably had a section like that I had to cut out. But so I'll take my loins. A lot of people, this is where they butterfly them, where they'll cut chops out of them. Usually what I'll do is I'll put them straight together like that, and I'll package them. And then I'll decide what I want to do with them at a later time. I've been wearing it in lives for every day. So I did wash it, and I actually got my work clothes in right now. So I need to wear my other. I do have another one that was made. It just says boxy across the chest, and then in the on the back is where it has my logo. So that's what I do with that, guys. So there's the the loins here. As you see, I got them cut in half. So now I can marinate that, put that on the grill. I can cut the wider stuff. I can actually cut that on an angle and make chops. You can butterfly these. But that's how I freeze them as whole, and then I make a decision once we get those out. Here's the next part. This is the other part of the hind quarter. Once again, you can make a roast. You can actually take it this way and cut it, and I can make steaks. And here would be the third part. So of course, this is definitely a roast. They call this a ball roast. It's right in the front part of their leg. It just pulls right out. Or what you can do is I cut it like this, and I can make a round steak. So I'll probably hold on to these, and I'll cut everything else up to get my 13 pounds, and then I'll try and get any steaks and stuff like that. The fourth part that most people don't take out is this part here. Now this is actually back in between all three of those sections of a deer. And if I do a video on me actually butchering the deer off of the carcass, I will show you guys this. I learned this actually off of somebody off of YouTube. This meat and the grain of the meat is the exact same type as what you get on the inside part of the deer, the back straps they call them. A lot of people think the back straps are the loins. They're actually on the inside of the rib cage. But that's this line cook. This would be an awesome meat for you to cook. I probably between the loin, which comes off the back, and these two here, I have a hard time cutting these up for anything but either I'll use this kind of more like a roast, or I'll cut them up like butterfly chops. And then these here, I like make little medallions or something like that out of them. Very, very good, very tender, very good cut of meat. So let me kind of show you. I know I'm probably going to be cutting some of this up for burger and ground meat, but I want to show you guys how I maybe do a few of these cuts. So like I said, this here, it's going to just stay just probably like that. And so are my loins, so I don't need to show you guys that. Just something with this here. Like I said, you can use this as a roast, or you can actually make steaks out of it. Probably got everything in your guys' way now, but you know, I make strip steaks out of this part of it. So I cut it, not quite an inch, probably about 3/4. So you can see just some nice little strip steaks. Use it for steak salads. You can actually put this in with some onions and mushrooms and anything like that. And take it. Let me see here. Like I said, guys, I know I'm cutting this up. You can let me show you guys this here. There, I got two nice pieces of meat there. There you go. Something else I can do with that. Now this here, you got to kind of come across. So anybody that knows, you come across the grain, okay? So that's where you want to make your jerky. So you see that about an eighth of an inch. That's why a fillet knife is so important. I know there's some of you guys in here. Amanda, I actually I can make jerky from ground meat. So and it tastes just as good. But you see that right there? That is the piece. That would be the piece that I would take my ground meat or I would make it out of. I know some people actually use the loin. They cut it in strips. But it's this piece. It's this piece of the deer that I would make that. And I'll cut a couple more pieces here. You got to cut it. You got to cut it across the grain of the meat, because if you don't do that, then when you make your jerky and you dehydrate that, it'll get so tough that you won't be able to break it apart. That's what a lot of people that make their own jerky. If you have any of their meat, their jerky, and it's hard for you to chew it and stuff, and it's real chewy, it's because they didn't cut it across the grain of the meat. So Amanda, that right there is what I would. Heck, I'm cutting it. So, and then this would be as if you would use a brine and soak this in that brine before you dehydrated it. Yeah, so that's the pieces that I'd get out of that, and you just soak that in the brine for 24 hours. You can put, anything that you want in there. You can put cayenne peppers, make it a little bit hot. You can use Old Bay seasoning, any kind of seasoning that you want. If you want like kind of like a sweet and hot, you can put like a teriyaki sauce in that brine. Yeah. With beef, yeah, the marbling, the more marbling you have, a lot better. Yeah, I try to cut some of the fat out, especially if I'm using it for like jerky, stuff like that. If I'm cutting it up for my jars here, I don't cut out as much. And then as far as the ground meat, you can see I still have a little bit in there, but for the majority of it, I get that out of there. I actually use my pork to put that back in. So chili, yeah. You can. I would use probably this meat as well for chili. I would just, if you want like a meat type thing in there, I've made chili with venison in it. You can use ground meat for that. I've actually took and cut like smaller chunks of this and cooked it low for a long time, and it got kind of really soft and tender, and put it in there as well. That there, you want to have you can see, guys, there is nothing in that venison. I got a little bit of silver meat right there, but you can take that off when you cook it, and perfect. So that's what I get out of that part there, guys. Like I said, let me cut this now. Let me finish cutting this the rest of the way up. We shall see where we're at on this. Ground meat. We're going to grind that up. Hang with me, guys. I know I'm not talking. Hey, Nicholas Green, just got back from your hammocking. I forgot that you were hammocking last night, and I don't know if you saw John Euler. He actually has a yeah. Farmall, you could get one tonight. You're just too lazy to shoot a doe. Yeah, so my son, he wasn't. No, I didn't get a buck Farmall. My son got a doe, so he didn't get to hunt very much last year. So he took his first opportunity the Saturday evening, and he laid a smack down. And so I need some hours, and some people were asking about how I process my deer and stuff. So, but Nicholas, I was hoping you were still in there. We got talking about ginseng with John Euler, and some good information. John Housel's in the house. I know I haven't been really looking at the chat much, guys. Of course, you see I have to have my readers on because I'm so far away. But that's that part of the deer. Now here's the next part. Like I said, this could be a roast. I usually don't use it for a roast. Usually I cut steaks out of this. Basically all I do is so I'll put that meat right there. You can see there's some fat right here. I'll cut that off. One thing, so like I don't like a lot of fat on my deer meat as far as steaks and stuff. Sometimes if it's around the outside, that's fine. But so what I usually do with this is I'll come in here and I'll straighten that up. Okay. Now something else you can do is if you have a slicer, and I've done this before, is you put this in the freezer, for a few minutes, and then it'll firm that up. Now you can throw that right on your slicer. Actually, you can get real good sliced steaks, uniform steaks. I'm not too worried about that, so I just use my fillet knife and I make it happen just like that. So what I do is I come here, like I said, it's about 3/4 of an inch. Nice thick steak, So I'll take that, and there's that steak. Now that's probably only a 3-ounce steak, so you're gonna want to have probably 2 of those, right? So that's what I kind of figure when we eat is we're gonna, right? There's another one. I don't know if this is going to stay as steaks, but like I said, we'll I get 13 pounds of meat, then I won't have to cut these up. But yeah, and I just keep all right, guys. So as you got to do occasionally, sharpen this thing up. All right. When I get down to this here, that of course always goes into see it has the silver stuff on it, so you know where it's going to go, right? Yeah, I just want to say hello to everybody that's in the chat here. I got 17 of you guys, it looks like, in here. Sorry, I'm not really paying much mind to the chat. I don't want to cut my fingers, guys. So I got to pay attention here as well. But really appreciate everybody coming in here, hanging out. So just in that piece of meat right there, guys, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7. There's 7 steaks right there. Just me, my wife, and my son. So 6 steaks would be enough. Like I said, it's they're about 3 ounces or 2. So, matter of fact, I can tell you exactly what it is. 3.5 ounces. Yep, 3.5 ounces. So that was pretty darn close. This would be 1 mil for us, and remember that's just one side of the deer. So I would have another one on the other side. So that's that cut. That's how I would do that. I got another one in here, like I said. I got my loins here that I could show you on one of them. I'll process it so you guys can see what I would do with that. So now the ball. This is a ball roast. I use it as a roast. I'll package it just like that. Okay. For this purpose, so I can show you guys, I'm going to cut this. So let's say we've already had maybe a roast, and we decided, I didn't get as many packages of steaks, and we want to have a sort of a steak. So you kind of saw how this steak is more of a flat steak. This here would be more of a round steak. So let me show you how if I would pull this out and decide I'm going to make it into a steak instead of a roast. Same thing. I just come to the front here, and I flatten that front edge off, right? That right in there, and then I just come here and gonna cut it right like this. So of course it's quite not as firm. It's not quite as firm as I would like it to be. So I'd have probably thrown this in the freezer maybe 10 minutes, 5 minutes while I'm cutting the rest of the deer up. So then I get back down to the back side of it, and you know where that's going to go, right? It's going to either go in my grinding pile or it's going to go in here. So let me show you guys this cut of meat. Okay, you look at that. It does have some marbling in it, but you cook that, and so you can see how about 3/4 of an inch thick, real good, nice piece of meat. You guys, unbelievable, good tasting. Like I said, I'm not sure, just out of that. And I want to remind you guys, this wasn't a huge deer. This was a yearling deer, and just out of that, 7 more steaks. So I got 2 of these if I wanted to make steaks. So I'd have 4 packages of steaks, and I still had that. If you remember, I had that flank steak that I could make some strip steaks out of, whatever I want to do there. So let me get one of these loins. I'll get the bigger part here. So I do mine in whole. So if I want to actually cook it like this on the grill, smoke it, anything like that. Can't stay, but wanted to stop in, show some support. I appreciate it, Jersey boy. Got a bunch of you guys in here. Julie Stewart's now in here. I know Farmall's in here. So let me show you how 2 things that I do with this. I'm going to try and do it out of this. So I only cut up this one loin. But the loin's a little bit different. You saw how the other ones I was cutting straight down to cut my steaks. This here, I'm actually going to cut it on a 45. I cut it on a 45-degree angle. Okay. Why do I do that? So let me show you what this. So this is the loin. If I'd cut it straight down, that's the kind of meat that I'm going to get out of this. Okay, that would be your chop. Okay, now watch when I cut this on an angle. Look at that now. See how thick that is? Look at it now. I made that thing almost 3 to 4 times bigger just by cutting it on a 45-degree angle. Hey, Jakey Crack, thanks for listening while you work. I see it's 10 o'clock. I've been well, about quarter after 10. Been going live for about an hour, and Amanda had asked how long it takes me to do up a deer. I was figuring about an hour and stuff. So you guys can see my loins would have already been done. That little morsel that I actually take out, and make a fourth piece out of the hind quarter. It would have already been wrapped, taken care of. As you know, I wrap these whole, so those two would have gotten wrapped individually. They'd be done. I've actually already cut one up in the steaks. I could actually take this. It's done. There's that. I got those steaks there. They're done. My canned meat and my chopped meat for a burger. That would be happening right along as I'm cutting all this stuff, and then everything else would be done at the end to do that. So yeah, so I'm going to keep that loin, like I said, because I'm going to put it back to back with this, and then I'm going to freeze that right like that. Okay, so so that's that. That's all the different parts and how I would cut those up. So right now, what I want to do is start getting back to getting this cut up. So jars, I got 3 done so far. I don't know if this is something where if I don't get enough out of this deer, I gotta hope that we can get another deer, and we'll put with it. At that time, what I would do is I would freeze this, and then that's something about ground meat too, is I always like to freeze it just to get that. You want to kind of stiffen. If you stiffen this up and grind it, it actually goes through the grinder a lot better. Now, for those that have an industrial grinder, it probably works just fine. But I have a cheap old $99 grinder that does the job. All I do is just make sure that it's nice and firm, and it goes right in, goes right through. So I get some of these meats here. See that one there is a little bit harder. That's going in there. So once again, we got another one full. So you guys know I'm not going to be able to can this meat today. So not a clue. Actually, what I do, I'll show you here. Let me wash my hands. I don't vacuum seal. I have in the past. What I do is I have gallon freezer bags, and then I put them in there, and I try to get all the air out of it. What you can do is you can get yourself a pan of water, fill it about 3/4 of the way up. You actually take your meat in your freezer bag, and you push it down. They'll push all the air out, and then you take and I use the ones with the slide, and then you can slide it. So it pushes most of the air out, and then I turn around and I wrap it with a kitchen freezer paper. So I got it in the freezer bag, and then I wrap with this. And I can tell you, they say you should eat venison, within a year. A lot of people complain about freezer burn and stuff like that. I have actually had deer that I had either forgot was in there, or it's in the back of the freezer, and it was from the year before. That'd been 2 years, I guess, and opened it up, and it wasn't freezer burnt. So in that case, that's how I wrap mine. Yeah, good night, Amanda. Appreciate you coming in. Catch, clean, and cook. Yeah, I'll have the video on I wasn't with my son when he shot it, so I didn't get any footage of that, but I got footage of me walking down and yeah, freezer burn. So that's what I do. And we do normally, if this would be the only deer we get this year, it'll be eaten probably well before spring. So yeah, so let's get back to cutting some of this up. So I got 4 jars in there, so I'm going to need I need 3 more of these jars, and then I can concentrate on getting it in there. This big good piece of shoulder meat, guys. You can make a roast out of that. I talked about it earlier, but for those of you that might not have been in here, um, the other thing is, and I've already cut them up, guys, but for my darts, I use the forearm meat from all 4 legs because it cooks down and it makes it makes good meat for that. Anything that's got the silver meat or anything like that, it goes in the canned meat. Okay. Um, the ground meat, guys, I'll cut it up into bigger chunks. The meat that goes in my canned meat, I do about a 1 inch by 1 inch. Just seems to be the best size when it cooks down, that it's not too small to where it just kind of breaks apart, and it's not too big to where you have a big piece of meat that maybe didn't get taken care of the whole way through. But so if it's got the gristle, it's got the white stuff on it. Definitely, I put that in the can. So here probably in about 15, 20 minutes, guys. I'm going to open this up and we'll have some. A lot of people don't like to eat that stuff right out of the can. My wife, she actually, when she uses it in her venison stew, she always makes sure that she always takes and rinses the meat off, and she gets all that, all the liquid and stuff. Because you'll see there's like particles and stuff there from when it cooked down and stuff. There's particles in there, and she does not like that at all. But to each their own. It doesn't hurt anything. It's actually part of the meat. That's all it is. But she likes it nice and clean. So trying to get this cut up real quick, guys. Then what I'll do is I'll start weighing. I'll start weighing the other meat, so we can see what we got there, and then I can decide whether I'm going to cut some steaks or. Well, matter of fact, I already got some steaks made, so I'll just keep them. And I already know I got 2 meals right there for 3 of us. Now, if my wife calls and has my daughter up, I'll get another package out because she comes. Her boyfriend will be probably with her, and so we'll make sure we have enough meat to cook up for 5 of us. So that'd be, I'd just get 2 packages out. All right, so there's number 5. All right. One-inch pieces, guys. I cut all the stuff that has that silver in there. I know I've showed it already, but see how it's got that? That goes in here. You can tell too when you cut it. You'll feel it. That's the front part of the shoulder. If anybody knows, so you got the bigger part right here. That's where I actually take it off. That's where like the scapula or whatever you want to call it is. And I'll take that off and whole. You can use that for like a shoulder roast. And then everything down below it is the stuff that has all that stuff in it. And that's what goes into that can. So once I get this all done, I'll open up this can, kind of show you guys the canned meat. Some of you guys that are in here, I got only 9 people in here right now, but I appreciate you guys coming in, checking this out. I know this time of day, everybody's got things going on, people working. Some of us that work second shift. I'll be getting ready to go to work. I want to get this deer all taken care of because this week I got to work. I'll be working. I got to leave the house at 10 o'clock. I won't get home until probably going for midnight. But I work 11 to 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. I got schooling. I'm going for leadership training. So I got to do some Zoom classes when I get into work. So yeah, that'll be Tuesday, Wednesday. That'll be my classes go till 1:30 p.m. Eastern time. So 11:30 to 1:30, it's 2 hours. So, and then I'll start my shift, and my shift is 3 to 11. So there you have it. It turns out to be 11 to 11. So another long week. Hopefully, if we do work Friday. Okay, guys. So I need 1.5 more of these. So I know I'm going to have to get in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the meats that I know I'm going to get the most bang for my buck. This one here is that piece that I would normally, like I said, I would do as a roast, or this is where I actually cut those nice thin steaks out of. I'm going to use it first. What I'll do is I'll cut all this. You can see I just cut off all this outer meat first, and I'll do that first. You can see there it's got some of that fat on there. That's what's so nice about this fillet knife. Watch this. Just take it like that, come right down along that, and then I cut through it. Of course, you know, it never works. So you see there, I took that off. Right there's the filleted part, comes off of there. So that goes in. That goes in here. So cutting this up. Lonnie Paul, how you doing? Dark 30 Outdoors. Thanks guys for coming in. I really appreciate it. What I didn't mention was I looked at my monetization. I looked at my numbers, guys. I'm at 2765 this morning when I got up. And I looked at last night's live that we did with John Euler, outdoorsman. Cottrell hunting and fishing, thanks for coming in. You're at work. You obviously got me running. Hopefully you got me on mute so you don't get in trouble. But I was at 2765. I looked at John Euler, outdoorsman. I looked at that. I had like 208 views, an average of 28 minutes. So you do all the math on that, and I got like 96 hours just from last night's live. It was 4 hours that I went live. I did find out too that my free StreamYard, I'm at 13 hours of 20. I'm going to be going 3 hours here, so that's only going to give me about 4 hours, and that doesn't renew until October 18th. So I'm probably going to have to pay for the upgrade, and so I can have more hours. If not, I'll just go live on the YouTube part. Of course, probably not the greatest, but I know I won't be able to have that trapping live with everybody up on panel if I don't do something about that. So I'm sitting right now, if I add that 96 in there, I'm sitting at 2861. So real close to that 3,000. That's what I'm really like that. If I can get over that 3,000, that would be awesome. You get down to that last 1,000 hours, and it just seems like, you know, think about it. If I'm getting right around 90 hours out of a live, that's going to be about 10 lives that I gotta go and do. If nobody else, if nobody watches any of my videos or running my playlists. So it's going to be very important. I'd appreciate if you guys, do that for me, run some playlists, watch some of my longer videos, and kind of help me because I don't think 10 lives with what I'm working and stuff, I might only be able to do 2 or 3 a week. So I know everything counts on me too. So if I can only go live for an hour, I'm going to start doing that. Oh, you're on break right now? Yeah, that's what I usually do when I'm on break. I try to find somebody that's live, get in there, just say hey. And JB Outdoors, no, I didn't show how to debone. If I happen to get another deer, my son gets another deer. I was actually going to do a video on that, but I could surely go live because I actually I have a neat way of doing that. A lot of people will actually quarter the deer up and then bring it in on the butcher's block and they debone it. I actually debone mine right on the carcass. Everything I do is right on the carcass. I go right down in a certain order, and then I actually cut the carcass up. And how I do that is I cut halfway up the rib cage. I take that and I stick it down inside of itself, and then I cut it off right at the pelvic. Cut the pelvic off the legs. It goes down into the chest cavity, and then I got all the legs. I stick those in there, and I can get the whole carcass in a one garbage bag. Yeah, dark dirt it is. It's all about the support, and I can't thank you guys enough. And of course, you guys know Mo Homesteading. She's the greatest. It was great to see everybody pour out and help her out. Some of you guys that just came in noticed that she's not in the chat. I didn't see exactly. I believe it was her husband went to get into his truck, and he either dislocated his knee or he hyperextended it. But they were taken off. She had to get him to a doctor or a hospital. So you guys can see here, those would make some good steaks, but we're not going to make them steaks. We're going to make them. Yeah, it's going in the. If not, no, it's going to go in the grinder if it doesn't go in this jar. So I want to fill this jar up, and that'll give me my 7 jars. Then we'll see how much ground meat we have there, and we'll go from there. Yep, you debone off the carcass too. Believe it or not, the first thing I usually do is, like I said, when I skin my deer down, the first thing I do is I cut into the front shoulders, and I try to wing those out just to get the air in there to cool that down as fast as I can. That's usually the first thing I cut off. Is I'll actually cut that off the carcass. So I guess I'm not totally truthful on. So I take that off, and then I'll set it down, and I'll debone that off of there, and then that bone, that front shoulder bone and stuff, goes to the ground. Once I get that done, then the next thing I do is I usually take out my back straps and my loins. I take the loins off. Then I'll go to I'll spin the deer around, and I'll go to that front. I'll go to that front part of the leg, and I cut straight in, and I go right down the bone, right to the pelvic. And what that does is that pops this part of the deer out. Okay, I take that. Once I get that off there, I pull that out. you guys know there's actually meat that goes over top of that. Well, I just put my hand in there and I pull this out, and then that meat goes right into my thing to get cut up. Then I actually go around the leg right above the knee, and then I go right up along the pelvic bone, and then I cut up along the femur bone, and then I get behind the deer and I actually pull that over, and you'll get that section there. And then I keep pulling that open, and then this section will be right in the middle of the next two. And how you know where this is if anybody knows, there's a lymph node right there in the back leg there. You guys, you want to make sure you don't slice into that. You want to make sure you cut that completely out of the meat, okay? Because that's going to be any kind of poison or toxic or anything that would be in the system of a deer if it had it. But you want to take that out. It doesn't taste good. It spoils your meat. DB Whisker King, what's up? We're taking care of some of this venison here. Got some of it in the jars there. I got to get one more jar to make a whole one batch. I can in my pressure cooker. I can make seven jars. So my wife uses 2 jars when she actually makes venison stew. She uses two of these jars. So but that tells me I do 7, so you're going to have 1 left over. So guess what? One of them gets to get eaten a different way. I don't know if the line cook's still in here, but something else you can do with this. So I have an extra jar. I could eat it like that, or I can make steak tips over rice. That's something else that you can use for that. That's good. There's so many things that you can do with this that that's all up to you on what you want to do. Doing redneck things with Tony and Leanne Larson. How you guys doing? So I don't know. I guess this could be considered a redneck thing because I'm cutting up my own deer. Yeah, you're here. So that's something that steak tips over rice, steak tips over noodles. However you want to eat your steak tips. I know a good friend of mine. They love eating theirs over noodles. I've done that as well. So you guys will have to watch. I don't know if I'm going to go live when I do it. I'll have to do it on the weekend. Maybe one evening I can go live when I actually make my when I actually do the cooking for the canned meat. It takes a little bit of time. You got to, the pressure cooker's got to come up to pressure. Once it gets up to pressure, I want to say I got to put I think I put the 5-pound weight, I believe, on the pressure cooker. And anybody that pressure cooks, that thing will start to rattle. I think they call it ticking, something like that. But once it starts doing that, you only want it to tick, I think, 2 to 3 times a minute. But you let it go. Once it starts doing that, you let it go for 90 minutes. And then once your 90 minutes are up, then you take the heat off. You end up letting that cool down. Once it's depressurized, you take the jars out, set them on a cooling rack, and everybody that cans knows I'll have to hear 7 pops. So I want to hear them pop. That means they're sealed. See, been a while since you had any deer meats. My brother used to give me a bunch, but he hasn't been well has a bad Lyme from ticks. Yeah, that's something that's nerve-wracking too, is being out there actually going after these. And I've been bit by 2 ticks, and you want to talk about being a little anxious. See, Ramsey Country's in the house. Okay, so doing redneck things with Tony and Leanne. They're leaving on the 8th. They drew some no tags. So, all right, guys. So I know I got enough meat for the canned deer meat. Now what I'm going to do is put this container over here. As you guys know, I got that zeroed out. Now I'm going to see how much deer meat I have here, ground meat. So I'll fill this up. I know I want to have, I think I need 13 pounds of meat. Now, as you guys know, I'll probably go 10 pounds deer, 3 pounds pork. So let me see what I got here. So what I want to do, I want to make sure I have. So there's 3 pounds right there. I need about 7 more pounds of meat. So remember, guys, all this meat now that I'm actually pulling off of here is actually meat that I know you guys can't see my scale here, but that's another 3 pounds of meat. Let me get one little piece, make it exactly 3 pounds. I'm at 6 pounds right there. So what I'll do when I put this in a bag, I'll bag this up. I'll need to put how much. So I'm at 6, and then 1.5. So I'm at 7.5 pounds of meat. So I'll leave that in there. So this is the next one that's got to go. Okay, so we're going to cut this one up. And then I'll have to get into the steaks that I cut up. But cut this up, 7.5 pounds. So well, let me put this on there. So I know I have 6 in there. And if I cut this up, that's another 3. So that's 9 pounds. So I will have to cut up some of that. So what's nice about this, I can actually cut these bigger. I already know I'm at 9 pounds, guys. I'm just going to put it right in here. I just got to get this a little bit quicker. I see it's 10:45. As you guys know, I work afternoons, so I'm going to go live until about noon, and then I'll shut down, and then I'll kick it into overdrive if I'm not done. I do know I'm going to have to leave you guys here for a second. I got to go, and my work clothes are in the wash machine. And I'm going to have, I was hoping my son would wake up and come out here, and I was going to have him actually put them in the dryer for me. So, bigger chunks. So I know I need another pound. That's about 1.5 pounds. So I know I don't have to use this. I'm going to use that meat that I made these steaks out of. See, there's a pound. There's a pound. 1.5 pounds right there. So, all right, guys, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this up. So, this will definitely make both people in this house happy. My wife will be happy because she's getting some meat to make her venison stew. My son's going to be happy because he's going to get his hot sticks. Yeah, that's the way it's going to go. And then I'll get with you guys, and you'll see how I'll package this. And normally, I'm kind of doing this backwards from the way I normally do it, guys. I would have took my finer meats. I would have cut all my steaks. I'd have got my roasts. I'd have got all that out of it. And then everything else that I had from scraps from actually taking it off the deer carcass, because I try to get as much as I can. I get the rib cage, all the rib meat best that I can. I don't go extremely crazy. I do lose some meat on it, but I can't take the time to take every morsel of meat off of a deer carcass. I can tell you, rest assured, I'd get more meat off of my deer carcasses than if I take it to a processor. Foxy, you gave me a wrench. Thank you. Yes. Especially people that are in here that I know come in often. Mo's not in here, so with me not paying attention, if any person that come in that, of course, doesn't like what I'm doing here, because some people, think that the beef and stuff that they eat just materialize. They don't realize that this is happening there as well. Yeah, he did a lot of hay baling, and he didn't go to the doctors for a while now. Lyme's pretty bad and passes out and such. It's hard for him. Yeah, that's that's something that very tough with that. D's Beyond Blessed is still here. I appreciate that, D's. You've been with me. You were actually in before Boxy got in here. All right, guys. So I got this cut up. I know I got enough meats for that. I'm gonna wash my hands here, guys. Entertain each other. You can see I got a mess going on here, right? I got to get my work clothes going, because if not, I'm going to end up wearing some wet pants to work. Okay, Nicholas, I really appreciate it. Appreciate you coming in here. Can't wait to see your hammock nightcap. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cold out there. Hopefully you stayed warm, and well, at least we know you didn't have hypothermia if you're in this live talking. So really appreciate you, bud. You have a great one, and we'll see you around. All right, guys, I'm gonna hurry up and get this this closed in here. I'll be right back. And what's the jugs? Are you talking about these jugs here? It looks like we got sugar, we got flour, we got powdered sugar. I have almond flour. Guys, you'll like to know what this is. There they are. That's what's in that jug. What do you think gets made out of that? Iced tea. As you see, there's no sugar in that. That's why it's natural. Natural to just have that, put that in water. And then the last one's brown sugar. But if you want to know what this is actually mango. It's a fruit wine. It's a mango wine. You guys can see my hand. That's behind the jug. This is in front. I can actually put my hand behind it. Yeah, it's pretty clear wine, homemade wine. I do make my wine from kits, so the flavoring comes from an actual flavor bag. Yeah, and then of course over my shoulders, my pantry that I have opened up. I don't have it shut. You guys can see Allie right here. That's my daughter's Maltese Shih Tzu, and my wife's wiener dog's right over here. Guys, give me about 5 minutes. I'm sorry, I'm going to go off screen. So all you guys are going to do is be watching my kitchen. So please keep each other busy there. I got 12 of you guys in here. I've been live for an hour and 50 minutes. So with me doing a lot of talking, Amanda Thompson asked how long it takes me. I would already be done, guys. Probably about an hour. So I'm going to go and I come back. We're going to open this up. We're going to have some because it's almost lunchtime, right? I didn't eat breakfast either. So this is going to be my brunch. And I'll show you guys the meat. And then we'll start packaging what I have right now. Okay? So give me a minute. I'll be back. All right, guys. Well, that didn't take as long as I thought. I usually hang my work shirts up, polo shirt, but they're going to get dried. So almost got a deer Saturday, but she spotted me walking in. There's always next time. Yeah, keep at it, Nicholas. It's always tough. Sometimes one. What that tells you, though, is there's a reason why that deer was where it was at when you got in there. So if you can get in there a little bit earlier, if it's somewhere where they're coming through a transition area or they're coming in there to feed, or you may have found yourself a bedding area, just either hunt it, you get in there a little bit earlier and catch them coming in, or you might have to back off a little bit if it was a bedding area, and hopefully you'll get them coming out of there. Yeah, thanks, Ramsey. I may let that run for a little bit, and then I might go and pull some of those shirts out. Hot Wings Outdoor Life, how you doing? We're just getting ready to package this up. But before we do, open this up. To hear that, there's that. And like I said, there's the soot that's on the top of that. We'll throw that over there. So of course, I don't want to eat none of that stuff, but get that out of here. I want to take a spoon and I want to show you guys this meat. So remember, I'm using the meat that has all that silver line in it, and kind of the meat that you would think, is kind of the meats that you're not going to want to chew into, making steaks and stuff like that. But I want to show you this meat. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's what's coming out of that, and I just want to show you. I mean, it comes apart. I can just break it apart like that. So right out of the can, guys. Now this one here, I don't see any garlic in it, but Sometimes I put crushed garlic in there, or I'll put garlic cloves. This has all that forearm meat that has all that silver stuff in it. All the stuff that is hard to cut up. Very good. As you see, I can just go like that, and it just breaks apart. That's why it's so good. My wife likes using it for stews. She'll actually rinse it all off. She puts it in there, and as that stew is cooking, she slow cooks it for several hours, and it breaks up. I mean, you guys can see that all the little fine pieces that it breaks into. So every time you take a bite of your stew, you got a little bit of tender meat. So normally don't like doing a mukbang, eating in front of you guys, but I'm gonna have another piece of that. So you guys know what I'm gonna be eating at lunch at work, right? So let's get to packaging this up. For those of you that can deer meat, you know exactly what I'm tasting. For those of you that never had canned venison, you got to try it if you have an opportunity. Now, of course, everybody does something different. You know, I know to me, mine tastes pretty good the way I do it. I'm either going to be doing a video or I'm going to do a live stream on that. But it's time to start packaging this meat up, guys. I'm right at 11 o'clock, so if we get this done, I can get it ready to go into the freezer, and then we can just sit and chat. My coffee's cold. I'm going to get a little warm up here. All right, guys. So now I can get rid of this because of what I cut up, and I was putting a lot of stuff in there. That's all the scrap that I have. So a lot of times when I cut it off the carcass and stuff, I'm taking all the bigger stuff out of here and stuff. But as you see, that's all the scraps I got from this meat that I'm doing here. So let me get this taken care of. Get this off to the side. I'm gonna rinse out, guys. I'm right over here beside you guys. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rinse this one here that had the meat in it, because now what I'm gonna want to do is, as I package it, I'll put it in this container here, and it'll be ready. It'll be ready to go down into the freezer. So being that I'm not doing this right now, so let's say if I was on a weekend and I was going to plan on grinding this meat, I would actually just put this meat like in a Walmart bag or a plastic bag like that. I would throw it. I'd throw it into the freezer, and I'd let it firm up a little bit, and then I would just grind it. So I do have a grinder. I have a stuffer that actually my daughter actually purchased for me, and I got it for Christmas one year. So of course I have a slicer, I have a grinder, I have a stuffer. I even I purchased myself. I purchased a big mixer. I can actually mix 20 pounds of meat in this mixer. It is a hand crank mixer, but hey, it works, and we mix up our meats, and I make a lot of good stuff with it. So let me get this stuff put back. And I'm going to put this one in the refrigerator, guys. I'm not going to eat anymore on camera. Yeah, let's get started with this. Guys, remember I had my 7 steaks. Myself now, I do use gallon size. I'm going to see if I don't have to use a gallon for right here. This is what I use. What I try to do, guys, is I'll take my steaks. That might be a little bit too big for these, but there's that roast, right, guys? Now you can actually take that. What you do is you set that down in a pan of water, and it'll actually push all that air out of here. Then you just zip that. I just kind of roll that up, get as much of that air out. Give it a little hole there. Push all that air out. There's that. So just set that up there. Next is going to be loins. Right? So like I said, guys, my loins, I actually package them whole, and then I'll decide what I'm going to do with those, whether I'm going to butterfly them, I'm going to, cut on that 45-degree angle to make chops, whatever I'm going to do. So I have, of course, you have 2 sides, right? So so what happens, guys, is by doing this and by getting all this air out, not only do I have it in there, but I've rolled this around, and see, I can make it nice and flat so it stacks nicely. And all that air is out, and I actually got a double plastic wrap. Plus, I'm going to wrap it with freezer paper. So I know somebody had asked, I think it was Not a Clue, about the freezer burn. But that's kind of what I do, and I had some pretty good luck. So here we go. That's the other loin. Once again, push down on there, get all that air out. Nice and flat. All right, I have a quart size for these steaks. About to go over to the pantry and get that. No sense wasting a gallon bag. I'll need the gallon bags for this over here that's all chopped up. All right, guys. Here. So with this, I kind of try to make them flat as well, just so we can get them stacked in the freezer. So you can kind of see how I got that. And then I'll put this in here. Rearrange it. A little bit of push all that air out. There you have it, guys. So there's those steaks. Now those are round steaks, so I got to remember that. So when I package it, I'll remember that. Now this is remember that meat, guys. I talked. I'll show this next time I process a deer off of it. But most people say there's only 3 sections to the hind quarter. But I take this meat out from each side. Almost the same. It's got the same grain, meat grain as the inner tenderloins. So the guy that I got this off of, he actually says his video was how to get 4 tenderloins out of one deer. So you got the 2 that are inside, right up along the backbone, and then you have these 2 pieces that come out of that hind quarter. And I can tell you where it's at. It's right by, if anybody knows where the lymph node is, that you want to cut out. That's what these are. So I'm gonna put these in and put them in this quart bag. But I'll and whatever I want to put on here, I might put rear tenderloin or leg tenderloin, or it's going to let me know that this is what this is. This would be something that if I wanted to, I could cut these in strips, make it for jerky. I can just, if it's just my wife and I, we can fry these up and just eat them as like a steak. I can cook it up. We can chunk it up. We can put it on a steak salad, anything like that. Hey, Mills, I heard you you did a live out of the tree stand as well. See, somebody must have been leaving. What's for breakfast? Um, yeah. What was for breakfast? I ate some canned deer meat for breakfast. But that's that. So let me rinse this here out as well. I'm right here beside you guys at my kitchen sink. Stuff over here. I want to clean these. Just it's easier to clean these as you go. These containers that I use. These containers are pretty nice. They fit perfectly on a refrigerator rack. And so I can take it and I can process. When I process my deer off the carcass, I have 3 of them. I used to have 4. I don't know what happened to the other one, but you know, I'll take this and I got it all cleaned up. I'll just set it over here to air dry. And all right, let's get to this. So now, what I got to be very careful of, guys, is so I got all this this ground meat. They're both chunked up, so I got to make sure that I put on here what it's for, so that way. Yeah, you did it. It was slow. So sometimes if I know I'm gonna get to this right away, I'll actually just put it in like a double Walmart bag and just tie it off, put it in the freezer. I know it's not gonna get freezer burnt because I'm gonna be using it. Not exactly sure how fast I'm gonna get to this, so it's just a matter of putting this meat in these bags, and I'm gonna just get this as plump full as I possibly can. Um, It'd be nice to be able to get it all in this one bag, just so I don't waste the freezer bag. But if it doesn't, I might be able to get it in this and maybe a quart size. This is 1 gallon bags. You can use quart bags for this as well. I just like my bigger roasts and stuff. Helps with is I can wrap that plastic around it just so it gives it extra gives that extra protection, I guess. in my mind. You know, Foxy's mind works a little differently than others. Like I said, I usually don't have any problem with freezer burn, and I've actually forgotten about meat in the freezer before. And so when I go down there, I got all this meat that I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to go down to my freezer. And I'm going to put it in the freezer there. And I've been known to find meat from the year before, take it out, ready to cook it up, and so there you have it. So I got a gallon and a quart. So try and get as much of this air out as possible, guys. I want to kind of show you that. An air pocket over here. Keep sliding that. So there you go. That's going to be the meat for his pot stick. Again, I'm gonna squeeze this little bit of that. I can put it down here. Kind of push that till all the meat's kind of up there, and there's that. So I will not wrap this with freezer paper just because I know I'm going to be using it here shortly, within a couple weeks even, to make that snack stick. So they are freezer bags. So what I'll do is I'll take my Sharpie. As you know, on here, you got your little thing here. So what I'm going to put on here is hot stick. And I always put the date, guys, just so I know, you know, when I go in there. Let's just say, for instance, it takes me a while to get in here. If I've already got another deer and it goes in there, I'll know that this was the first deer. This will be my son's deer. So I'm going to put 10, 5, and I will put 20 on there just because, like I said, if I forget it's back in there and I pull it out, I can tell when it is. Like I said, I've never had a problem with something that's been in there for 2 years with freezer burn, but you definitely want to try to eat it within the year. I'm not condoning leaving it in there that long, but I will definitely know if I would happen to get a deer or it gets another deer. This is the one that I want to use first. So hot stick, 10, 5, 20. Okay. So we got that. Like I said, that there is not going to get anything in it. So that'll go in. Next up, we're going to get this meat that, remember, we got the meat for the canned deer meat. Try and get the fit in the gallon. Yeah, definitely. We used to have a vacuum sealer, and I did do it that way. We don't have it no longer. So what I do if I want to try to get all the air out, like I know I don't have to get all the air out of that per se, just if I'm going to be using it shortly. But, I will actually take and get a pan of water and just stick it down in the pan of water. And then what that does is, you know, and that's the thing with this here too. You can kind of go like that. That way, you know that little air pocket right there. So I just take my hand and down in there and pushes that air pocket up. So get this in here, and yeah. So I'll actually use I might have to use two 1 gallons for this here. Definitely a lot more meat in here than I have over there. Like I said, guys, this is going to get done fairly soon. I'm not too worried about it. maybe this week, this next coming weekend, I can get some of this made up. But so on this, guys, what I'm going to want to put here, canned meat, 10, 5, 20, right? That's going to go in right there. So we're going to go with another gallon. What's everybody up to? What's everybody else going to be doing today, other than watching Boxy cut up some deer meat, kind of show you guys how I do things, and everybody working, getting outside, maybe scouting, getting in the woods, do a little bit of hunting. I know there's a few that were in here that are going to be hunting. I've actually got to get ready and leave for work about, let's see, I got to be there about 2:30. So I'll leave my house about 10 minutes to 2. So I'm going to keep this live going until noon. So we got about a little over 40 minutes, guys. Like I said, once I get this taken care of, I'm going to try and get it all in this one. Like I said, I'm not too worried about getting all of the air out of this. I want to get as much as I can. I'm going to be processing this within a week. Go from there. Everything I do, guys, I try to get it flat so it stacks in my my freezer. So again, this is canned meat, and then the date. The reason why I want to put that on there, guys, I want to make sure I use the canned meat for the canned meat, and I use the ground meat for the ground meat. Okay, just makes sense. So let me take that now, guys, and get it in the refrigerator. And then, of course, after I'm done going live, guys, I'll take that. I have a freezer down in the basement. There's no sense me leaving here. I'll keep it in the refrigerator. It'll get it nice and cool. So now it's just a matter of the rest of these meats. Remember, I got the 2 inner tenderloins. I have the package of round steak. I have the 2 packages of loin that are whole that I will pull out. I think they freeze better when if you don't cut them up first. Hillbilly Trapper, West Virginia. I'm headed home from work. Going to sit in a tree, staying shortly. Yeah. Good luck to you. I hope you get a harvest there. Line Cook, you're off today. You're editing your new video, which should be up later today. Awesome. We'll be looking for that. Guys, check out the Line Cook. Yeah, and then this is that roast. So what I put on this is I call it a ball roast. That's that little football looking roast. I'll put a ball roast on there because if I want to make it as a roast, I know what kind of roast it was. If I take it off the front shoulder and I make that into a roast, I'll put shoulder roast on it, and I know that comes from the front shoulder. I take that other section that I showed you. For me, I put flank roast because that's where if I wanted to get a piece, like a flank, I don't think that's where the flank comes from, but I call it a flank roast because it's more of it's thick and like it looks like a plank more than a flank, but I call it a flank roast, and I know that's that third section of meat that I take off of the hind quarter that is that roast. So I can kind of know what kind of roast it is because from that roast I can make several different types of steaks or anything like that. So I'll put ball roast on this, and what that's going to tell me is I can either have a ball roast or I can make some round steaks out of this. Once I get it out, I thaw it out, and I can cut it. So just something that I do. Everybody will have their own little way of doing things, but that's how boxing does it. So there is a method to my madness, right? So got here is freezer paper. Now I know a lot of people do. A lot of people double wrap their with their freezer paper, which also helps out with the freezer burning and stuff like that. So because I actually have I put my stuff in freezer bags instead of cellophane. I have the the freezer bag that has a part of protecting the meat. So when I actually do the freezer paper, you'll see how I do it. I'll actually make it, and I'll actually roll. I'll kind of like roll it. So it is almost like double wrapping without really considered as double wrap. A double wrap, you would actually wrap it, and then you pull another sheet out, and then do it again. Just real quick, what I do, so I know about like this. So I want to conserve the freezer paper too. You don't want to waste a lot of the freezer's paper. So I'll pull that out just to where I know I can roll that up, and I'll have some ends to flip up, and I can tape. So that looks pretty good right there. We'll cut that off, and try to make sure you guys can see me. I'm going to move some things around here, but so that's them round steaks, guys. So I'm gonna put it right here. And actually got a little bit of air in there, so I want to make sure I get that out. There, I got it out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take it. See, I wrapped it. Now you see how this is actually a little bit too far over. Then what I can do is I'll actually move that more that way. Tuck that under. Nice and flat, and then see, I want to bring that to where it's kind of like right in the center there. Of course, freezer tape out, guys. There, yeah, that's kind of hard to see. So what I do, you guys see, this is the top of my counter here. If I'm doing it, I'll just I'll make a couple like this. I'll just do 3 for now because that's about all I'm going to need for this. So I have that, wrap that over. I want to try to get it somewhat center. So I'll actually put a piece of freezer tape there. And I just come here, get into the center there, and I guess just like you're kind of wrapping a present, right? So, I'll make that, and then I fold that up. Put that tape there. Fold that up. Remember, guys, if you buy the actual freezer tape, this stuff will actually hold to a negative 40 degrees. So you can use masking tape if you want, but this is a little bit different. So now, as you see, I got myself a nice flat. So when I put it in my my freezer down there, it's going to sit on there. Everything's nice and flat, nothing's rolling around. So first thing I do here, once I wrap it, I label it. Actually wasn't so smart the first couple of times. I actually wrapped it all up, and then I was like, oh crap, I didn't label it, and I had no clue what was in it. So I just put the date on it, and when we wanted deer meat, we took it out and it was a surprise. So I'd get it out, thaw it out, and you're in the woods, you don't have signal. I'll be back soon. Yeah, I'm going to stay till about noon, and then I'm going to jump off of here. But so this here, guys, if you remember, it was round steak. So so I tried to make this a little bit legible and a little bit bigger than I normally do. But that's all I do, guys. Round steak, 10, 5, 20, right? So okay, so it's in the. I was looking for my my other container. Remember, I put it in the refrigerator. You guys probably remember it. Foxy did. But it's another one I rinsed out. I'll just dry it off. Right there, that's dry. So then just put that right in there. There you have it. So guys, like I was saying, I did the figuring out. I was at 2765 last night with John Euler. I had 208 views with a duration of about 28 minutes on average, which come up to 96 hours I got from that 4-hour live stream last night, which gives me 2861 roundabout there. So I have right here 1,139 hours that I still got to get. I just found out that I've used 13 hours of the 20 from StreamYards. So I'm probably going to have to update that because, as you see, I wrote down October 18th. So there's no way I'm going to be able to keep going live on StreamYard, and especially next Sunday. I want to talk trapping, and I want to bring people up. Brenda Heights, how you doing? Yeah, I'm enjoying this fall weather, Brenda. So I'm trying to get monetized. So I've been doing a little bit more lives. I've had a lot of good support. People running my playlists. If you don't know, YouTube is going to be changing the rules of the game, and they've given us all that are close to being monetized. They've given us a deadline on hitting that 4K. So I'm going live just about everything that I do. Today, my son actually harvested Saturday, Brenda, and so I thought it'd be good to show everybody how I process my deer once I have it off of the deer. So I didn't show actually cutting it off, but yeah, I'd appreciate that, Brenda. That'd be great. So I've just been showing you guys how I do this. A lot of people questioned because I do canned deer meat. So if you guys are interested in that, anybody that's in here, that you can go back and replay this here, and you'll actually get to see how I do that. What I cut up for my canned deer meat versus cutting up for my son wants hot stick. So I actually cut in reverse order about what I normally do. Normally, what I do is I cut all my premium cut meats, you know, all my steaks and all that stuff, and then all the scraps go into ground meat. Being it's his deer, he wanted hot sticks. I wanted to make sure, so I actually cut up some good steak meat and some good shoulder roast to get that meat, just to make sure that I had enough, because you never know how the season's going to go if we don't get if we don't get another deer. I just want to at least make sure he gets what he wanted. You can also rule on a diagonal for multiple layers. I only use one piece of tape. Both my dad and grandpa were butchers, which was a great thing to teach their daughters and granddaughters. Mud Tramp 0715. That's, you know what? I never thought of something like that. Maybe this next piece of meat, that's what we're going to do. We'll roll it on an angle. And so you're saying I can only use one? So I'd roll it on an angle, and then I'd flip the two ends in, and then just put one piece of tape. Yeah, hot sticks. You love that. That's a lot of people like that. Okay, so Mo, her alter ego, she's in here. You guys know she had to take her husband, I believe it was. I missed exactly who it was, but I believe it was her husband. Might have hyperextended or dislocated his knee, getting into his truck. And so, as always, she's a great supporter and stuff. So she's got me on mute, but she's got me going. She can't hear me, but she's watching. So make sure everybody says hello to Mo. And Line Cook's been in here the whole time with me. Yeah, Mo, because I'm loud. Everybody would hear me. First time here on your channel, so I'll definitely check out your videos and see what your channel is all about. Yeah, Mud Tramp, I'd appreciate that. As I tell everybody, please, make sure you leave me a comment and stuff. If you got any kind of content on your channel, that helps me know that you come over to my channel and stuff, and it helps me be able to get over to you guys. Roll on an angle. As you're rolling, flip the ends in first. Gotcha. And then make your final roll. You'll end with just one corner. So it's one piece of tape. See, guys, I'm here teaching you guys how I do this thing, and I just learned something, and I'm going to try that. So Mo obviously knows you, Mud. Yeah, Mud Tramp. Okay, I'm reading that right. I guess I better put my glasses on. You guys are going to be laughing at me. Yeah, Brenda, I appreciate that. I remember back when you were doing the live, you were pushing to get your 4K. Loved running your live streams and your videos. I know we've talked about getting a collab to go together and stuff. We really got to try to see about doing that, especially watching you going out and all these on these hiking trails and all the beautiful land that's right around where we live. It's just awesome. Guys, if you guys haven't seen Brenda Hikes, get in there and check out her videos. She does a lot of hiking and stuff around the trails that are right here in Pennsylvania. So, okay, so your name's Rebecca. I really appreciate you coming in here, Rebecca, and I want to make sure you comment so I can definitely come in and check your channel out, especially if you have content stuff. That's how I like meeting people. So Mo, of course, looks like she's on her phone as well. All right, let's try this one piece tape. This one piece on an angle. So I need it about like that. All right, guys, here we go. I don't have a corner there, so I'm going to start with that corner because I messed that up. All right, guys, so once again, let me move this stuff around. Yes, we definitely need to get together. Absolutely. What'd be cool is I know there's a couple other guys that are real close to us too. It'd be cool to go and maybe meet at one of those state parks and maybe just go for a hike and or maybe one of your favorite trails. Maybe we go on a hike and you can kind of show us some cool things. But yeah, so okay, so we're gonna go on an angle. So what she's saying is I'm gonna go like that. I'm gonna go towards that other peak. So I'm gonna flip my ends in. Have that last piece. All right, so not the best. It's not kind of straight, but heck yeah, that works. Thanks, Rebecca. I appreciate that. You just saved me some tape now too. Hey, you got to be frugal in sometimes, right? There's a lot of tape there, but now that might last me quite a few years. I mean, that was $5, a little bit more than masking tape. Like I said, it is. It's actually 3M from Scotch. Yeah, it worked out perfect. So remember, I'm going to actually put on here. Remember, that was the hind tenderloin. That's that part of the meat, guys, that I said. Most guys say there's 3 sections to the hind quarter. And any of you guys that have butchered deer, you understand what I mean by 3 sections. So there's 3 different muscle groups back there. But this actually lays right in the middle of all those that you can take out, and they actually make it. It's just like the meat that's on the inner tenderloin that's on the chest cavity, guys. Lots of state parks to hike near you for sure. Yeah, yeah. We have a couple just right here. Palmatuming has a few, but you get out to Goodard State Park there. Lake Wilhelm has a nice big. It's actually a paved walking one, but those ones there down there by Butler and down around Slippery Rock and Parker, PA. Those ones there, those are the type of hiking you like, is back there when it's unpaved. You guys know Unpaved Explorer. You see him. That's where he gets his name. He likes to go hiking on trails that are unpaved. So, so what I'm going to do here, guys, this is hind tenderloin. Hind tenderloin. I like it like that. All right, so we've got 3 more to do. I'm going to actually next one we're going to do, guys, is the ball roast. Okay, so this one here I did a little bit better, so I'm actually going to go right like that. Actually going to fold it in a little bit sooner on this one, on this guy. Rebecca, thank you. This is awesome. This is awesome. I used to use 3 pieces of tape. I'm down to 1. Look at that. That rat job. Huh? Tiger Bosky, how you doing? We're right at the end of us packaging up some deer meat. I processed it. I got it off the bone, and if you watch my replay and stuff, you'll see the meat. It wasn't all bloody and shot. I mean, I let it hang for 1 night and cut it off the carcass, put it in the refrigerator for overnight, and then this morning I'm packaging it up. So if you guys remember, this was the ball roast. So I'm going to put on here ball roast, right? And the thing with this is now I know, like I said, some of you guys are new in here. This ball roast, the way I have it in here, I can make it a roast out of it, or if we decide we want to have steaks out of it, I can actually make round steaks. That's where I make my round steaks out of. So that's pretty cool right there. So that's in there to go to the freezer. All right, I think I might have got that a little too long. But you guys know I do my loins, I do them in whole. That way I can take them out and I can cut them up into chops. I can butterfly them. I can marinate them just like this and put on the grill, slow cook them, just rolling them every so often. I can inject these and put in the smoker, whatever I want to do. But if I cut them up into chops, I got to use them as chops. If I cut them up in chops, they're smaller pieces. I don't think it holds as well as far as when you cut them up. You know, they are more susceptible to freezer burn or anything like that. But having them whole like this, I put them face to face, so you can see. I don't know if you guys can see that. But there's that silver skin. I put that on the outside. That protects it because when I take this off of here, no matter what I use it for, I'm going to take that silver skin off. I'm going to flay it right off that silver skin. So the silver skin is actually what's protecting the outside of that meat. once again, if you cut it up into chops, you don't have that silver line, that silver skin to protect it. How are we going to do this? We're going to do it on. See, nothing wrong with learning something new. I'm actually excited. Look at that. Who would have ever thought of something like that? A butcher. Because the more materials they use, the less money they make. So now all I got to do is get it down pat on how much to rip off. I think I might have ripped too much off. So this here, guys, very simple. It's going to just say loin. There it is. One more, guys, and we're done here. And I'll actually carry you guys over, and we'll go sit and. Matter of fact, before I do that, I'm going to get a little bit of coffee in my coffee mug because it's a little cold again. Because I've been talking too much and not drinking much. Not a fan of paved trails. Yeah, thumbs down on that. I was at Goodard a couple weeks ago and didn't like it. Yeah, it's nice for those that want to get out and walk. Maybe the older generation. I'll just say it that way. Be nice. Gives them something stable to walk on and they can get out there. So I don't know if you guys see. I got teased about always wearing this shirt. That share your passion. D's Beyond Blessed helped create this for me. I got farmsteading, homesteading. I got hunting, fishing, trapping, cooking, whatever your passion is. If you guys like this T-shirt and would like one, go to D's Beyond Blessed Creations on Facebook. You can contact her. All the money that she takes for that for her business. I did that as a when I showcased her channel. Every Sunday night at 8 p.m. I do a showcase. When I showcase her channel, we come up with this shirt. I did a giveaway with this shirt. Scott Swift won one, and he actually then bought one for Mo Homesteading for everything that she does for everybody. Hollerbred Kennels, I see you there. I'm sorry I missed you first, but yeah. So if you buy one of these shirts, it helps her business out. So and it's just for me, it's just going to be getting something out that has my name on there to help people come over to my channel. But share your passion. I come up with that because I enjoy seeing what everybody shares on YouTube. I don't watch TV much anymore. It's always YouTube. So as you get the hang of it, you'll get to where you won't have those uneven edge points. They'll be rectangular like you want it. Yeah. I love learning new things. That's why I watch these channels. Been hunting and fishing since I was probably in the womb. So kind of obsessed with it. Love learning new stuff and constantly learning. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Last night we had John Euler Outdoorsman. I was showcasing his channel, and we really got talking. There's a few things that we talked about, but what I really wanted to talk to him about was he found a mother lode of ginseng. Unfortunately, it was on state property, so you can't even pick it. And because he knows, a lot about ginseng, he knew what was under the ground without picking, because it's the root that you want. And he said he knew what was there, but he can't pick it because it's state ground. And I learned a lot about ginseng and how it grows, and how much it's worth is unbelievable. So if you get yourself into some ginseng, you're able to pick it, get that stuff picked. So again, also need to stop talking. Let's if I can't this one a little bit more rectangular. I don't think it's gonna happen. It's gonna take a few there, Rebecca. I'll get it though. I know I'll get it eventually. Heck, I tried harder that time and made it worse. How many times does that ever happen? You know, you concentrate on something, you try to do it a lot better, and a lot worse. There's that. So again, guys, that that's it. As far as me cutting up and wrapping this deer, it's done. Um, I agree. I'm not a hunter, and this interests you a lot. Yeah, ginseng is lucrative business for sure. Just got to find legal places to pick it. Yeah, that's it. Um, what I didn't realize was he even said that you got to oh, what do you say, register it or something like that. You actually when you go to sell it or something like that, you got to tell them like where you found it, the date, and all kinds of stuff, which blew my mind because that's like a fisherman giving up his fishing spots. You don't do that, especially if it's somewhere where you can do it. You know, next thing you know, you're going to go in there fishing next time your spot because you gave it up. Um, I like helping people, and I'll take people out and have them catch fish and stuff. But I don't take people to my sweet spots. That's just asking for trouble, and I've seen it happen before. You tell a buddy of yours, he tells his buddy. Next thing you know, he's telling his buddy, and now you go there and you already have 5 people sitting on your fishing hole, right? So why you'd have to tell them where you got your ginseng from is that blows my mind as well. But he's saying it's right around $950 to $1,000 for I think he said a dried pound. But he says it takes four pounds of wet ginseng to make a pound once it's dried. I think is what he was saying. That you're going to get almost $1,000. Lots of money to be made there. So let me get this guy's in the refrigerator. I'm going to grab you and try to walk with you, and we'll go over to the kitchen there. If you guys had looked, I did start some videos on my wine making. So this would be the final step before we're ready to bottle. That's actually mango. It's a fruit wine that I made. Yeah, line cook. You only want to take, and that's something too that if somebody would take me either fishing or to a hunting spot, I have a hard time going to that spot and fishing if I'm not with that person, just because of the way I feel about that. I would not want to do that to them. I definitely don't tell about that spot. Matter of fact, my best deer that I shot was on public land, and I went with a buddy, and he took me up there, and we hunted. I shot a nice buck, and oh heck, it's probably been almost 20 years ago. Yeah, I want to say it was almost 20. It was before 2003. I can tell you that. So at least 17 years. Um, Public game lands we hunted, and I have not hunted that spot. And I don't think he hunts up in that area anymore. He might, I don't know, but we haven't hunted together, and I've never hunted that spot since. So 13 years and never hunted that spot again. And I could. It's public game lands. I've driven by there and I went down the road and hunted, but never hunted that area. Never hunted in that tree. It's his area and it's his tree, so that would not be right for me to do that. Yeah, hillbilly trapper. Yeah, I'm going to trap this year. With me being on second shift, it's going to be really fun because I've always been on midnight shift. So I'd always get off of work and then I'd have to hurry up and run my line. And then I'd have to make the decision if I catch something Do I keep it? Do I have time to skin it down and get it in the freezer? A lot of times I'd have to hang it. I'd go and I'd get 3-4 hours of sleep, get up, do my skinning, and so it's going to be nice because I can get up in the morning. I can take my time running my trap line. I'm going to have a couple hours to be able to take care of it. So yes, I'm going to plan on doing trapping. I hope I can do a little bit more with that this year. Yep. Judith Davis in the house. I don't know if how long you've been here. I might have missed you, but let me get this in the freezer, guys. We only got about 9 minutes, so I might just stand here and talk with you guys. Like I said, I'm only going to go till noon today. I've been on here since 9 o'clock, and we processed that whole deer. So it'll be in the freezer after I get off of here, and we'll be looking to harvest another one. And like I said, I'm going to make hot stick. I don't know if I'm going to do that on a live or if I'll videotape it. And then we're going to can some meat. And that there, it'll be kind of boring because you already saw how I cut it up. So I'm going to just stick and show you, what I do with the jars. And then I'm going to put it in a pressure cooker. And then you guys are going to sit with me, until that comes up to temperature. And it's got to go, I think it's 90 minutes once it starts rattling the pressure weight. And yeah, and then once that you let let it cool down, you let the pressure reduce off of it naturally, and then take the lid off. You set them on your cooling racks, and the next thing you wait for is to sit there and listen to the lid actually pop, or whatever you want to call it, clink, whatever it does. But that tells you that it's sealed. So I'll have 7 jars. I want to hear 7. I want to hear 7 of those clicks. If I don't hear 7, then I got to go over there and I gotta push on them. And anybody that knows canning, you push on the one, and if it pushes down and stuff, what I do there is we just eat it. We eat it that night or the next day because it didn't seal. All the sealed ones go right in there in that pantry, and my wife will use it for venison stew. Videos are not all about the successes, but about the adventure to the success. And you read my about page. I think I have that in there. A lot of my outdoor stuff, I don't always show success, but it is showing the passion, showing you the adventure to that success. Everything we do is private, or I mean public land. But people get it done on public land just as well. And my son harvests this deer on public. So the pressures are there. So you don't always have perfect hunts, but just being out in the woods and seeing what you see. Yeah, you love this. You think we're lucky and blessed to be able to do these things. Yeah. So as much as everybody complains about YouTube and the things that they do, and not too happy that they're changing the rules of the game here on me, but we got to try to get to 4K, and YouTube gives us a platform for us to do this. So exactly, Mud Tramp. I think I'd rather call you Rebecca, but Mud Tramp 0715. Even if we don't catch or drop anything, my dad was also a taxidermist, and of course we eat everything we shoot. That also documents the wonderful memories, especially since I lost my dad this past year. I'm really sorry to hear that. You have my condolences. But yeah, the memories, that's what it's all about. It's the memories. And if you guys were in here watching me last night talking to John Euler, so I don't turtle trap anymore, but when I was younger, we did. We had a buddy that his grandmother wanted us to catch a snapping turtle because she wanted to make some soup. And by me watching his videos, it actually took me back in time. Now, I don't know. It's a memory, so you never know when a memory is going to pop up or when you stop to think about it. But I hadn't thought about that particular day that we caught that snapping turtle, and me and my buddy. I don't talk to him as much, anymore. We still do talk on Facebook occasionally. We don't see much of each other. He lives over in Ohio. I'm here still in Pennsylvania. But not only did it bring back the memory of turtle trapping or fishing or whatever you want to call it, we actually used to use jugs with hooks and stuff like that. But I can remember we had to cut the head off and let it hang upside down and bleed out. And when we did that, what amazed the crap out of us was the mouth was still chomping. So, I mean, just the little details of it was all brought out because I watched somebody's video. And, so, of course, Rebecca, you probably seeing me sitting here, processing this meat. You mentioned about him being a butcher and stuff like that. He taught you all this. And I'm so sorry that you lost in this past year. But I also want to thank you for giving me this style of rapping that really come through your father. So thank you, and I appreciate it. That's what it's all about, learning stuff, keeping the tradition going, helping each other out. Like Brenda says, it's the experience that we should enjoy, not the payoff, right? The payoff to me, thank the good Lord, that it was, his doing that we provided meat for our family. But we also know that if we would not have had a harvest that year, I saw 7 deer. My son only saw 3. Of course, the one here that he harvested. But we would have come home and been thankful for the time that he provided us to be out there enjoying his creation and getting to see one of the creatures that he put here on this earth. Yeah. And see, that's the thing too, is, one day I'm going to be gone. I'm not going to be here on this earth, but I'm going to have family. I'm going to have, my children and my grandchildren. My channel is going to be here, so they can always go and watch the videos and make fun of their old man or their papa. I don't want to get too mushy here, guys, but that's something to think about. So yeah, and I can go. I like going back, looking at my first couple of videos and just seeing how I progressed and see how much heavier I am now than I was back then. And I got a lot more gray on top of the head. But you guys all know what I'm talking about. It's kind of nice. Happiness in the house. You're back. I'm about ready to get off. What was I making earlier? I was actually processing some venison meat that my son had harvested. I've got a ball roast. I've got a package of hind tenderloins. I've got 2 packages of back loin. I got a package of round steak, and I also have all the meat that we're going to go on. You're not going to come in here, happiness, and start doing that. You put repeat words in here like this, you're going to get blocked from this channel. If you want to come in here and put a nice conversation in here, I will appreciate it. You're blocked for 5 minutes. There you have it. I'm not going to be on here for 5 minutes, so we probably will not see you. Nope, that's okay. I got it. Yeah, check out Mills Outdoors. I actually, guys, like any of his swag, right there's Mills Outdoors, his coffee mug. Awesome mug. It comes in 3 colors. I believe there's gray, brown, and then this white. But I really love the white. Used this last night to drink my unsweetened tea that everybody makes fun of me on. But yeah, I just want to thank everybody for coming in here, helping me out. There's none of you guys that have stuck with me. Some of you guys have been here from the start. I really appreciate that. like I said, share your passion. I talked a little bit about that. If you want a shirt, this shirt here, it is through D's Beyond Blessed Creations on Facebook. You guys go, and if you order this shirt, all the money goes to her business. So you will actually help support her, and I'll get a little bit of advertising if you wear my shirt around. It has my name on there. You can see D's Beyond Blessed is on there. But it's all about sharing our passion, guys. So I'd really appreciate it if you want to support D's Beyond Blessed Creations business, as well as advertising for Boxy Outdoors. I'd appreciate it. As you guys know, I'm trying to hit 4K, so I'd really appreciate if you guys could run some of my playlists. Come in here each day when I try to go live. Not sure if I'll be able to go live until probably Thursday, but if I get the opportunity, maybe I'll go on my cell phone, maybe on my drive into work, or maybe if it's going to be maybe an hour. If I have an hour before I get ready to leave for work, maybe I'll go live just to see what everybody's up to for that day, get a few more watch hours. So you guys all have a blessed day. Love you all. Thanks for coming in, sticking with Boxy for the last 3 hours, butchering up some deer. I want to thank Rebecca for helping me out with that new way of wrapping. So anytime you guys see me wrapping meat now, it's going to be on an angle, and I'm going to use one piece of tape. So yeah, thank you all for coming in. Ronnie Smith, I see you just got in here. I'm getting ready to head out. So if you guys can run some of my playlists, I'd really appreciate it. Like I said, the next 2 days, I may try to just go live for about an hour or so, but maybe Thursday, Friday. Might even try and get you guys up in a tree with me. So I'm going to check out what Ramsey Country did, and Mills Outdoors as well. So I can maybe do a live from the tree. So that'd be fun to do too. Yep. Thanks, guys. Every one of you guys saying that you got me running on other devices and stuff like that. Yep. Just hit the mute button because you don't want to hear Boxy's mouth flapping all day. So have a blessed day. I'm going to get this meat down in the freezer, and I'm going to get ready for work. Like I said, have a blessed day. Have a blessed week. Okay. I'll see you all. Thanks for coming in. I really appreciate the support.